Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and this is the Unravel With Me podcast where I like to talk about all the things I've worked on this week, future projects, things I've acquired, and any other kind of crafty things I might come up with for the week. The lighting is weird. Today I'm trying some new things. I'm in my basement. It's freezing down here, even though it's hot outside. It's freezing down here, so I stole a sweatshirt so it fits for our comfy little chat. So grab a drink because I have not had a video in weeks, so I have a lot to show you. I've got a fresh McDonald's Coke that I just needed to survive today, and let's just jump right in. So we had a pretty eventful Sunday morning. I decided it was nice and sunny. My husband was heading out to soccer and I was going to take our dog Enzo for a walk, and he somehow, we go out to the garage. I keep his leash and collar and things in the garage on a hook right by the door because he doesn't wear his walking collar inside. And so I went out to take him on a walk to enjoy this sunny day, but I don't open the garage door because he's only 10 months. So we're not at the point of being able to open the door. He might take off. So I leave the big door shut and I usually get him into the garage, get his collar and leash on, and then I open the door. Well, while I was grabbing his leash and stuff off of the hook, he starts going after something under our tool bench and just goes bananas, like hunting. And all of a sudden I hear squawking and screeching, and I know it's not him. He's a chocolate lab, so he's big, and these are tiny little squawks. And I'm like, okay, he caught a mouse. At least it's not going inside. But then I start, like, that's too loud to be a mouse. And I realize there's feathers sticking out of the side of his mouth. So then I realize it's a bird. And I really start freaking out. So I'm yelling, Enzo, drop it, Enzo, drop it, Enzo, drop it. And my husband comes out. He's like, what's going on out here? I was like, he has a bird in his mouth and he won't let it go. I don't know what to do. So he's helping distract the dog and I'm getting his leash on him and collar. And we finally get the garage door open. I get him out to the yard. The dog will not drop this bird. And at this point, his jaw has been clenched and he took a couple bites, like chewing, not bites, but chewing. And I am just completely horrified. And then he drops the bird and it's lifeless. And Mike takes care of that while Enzo and I continue on our walk. But that's the traumatic start to my Sunday. So it's now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and here I am trying to recover from that. But anyway, so that's how my day's going. So I'm excited to talk about everything. I've got some show notes. I've got so many projects. Okay. So to start, last time I spoke with you guys, I don't know if I had mentioned that I was on a slipper journey. I was ready to make some of the felted slippers that everyone's making. I originally was going to start with the double slippers. I saw Renee from Table 10. I love their podcast. Watch it every Thursday. I saw some that she had made, and you make them larger than they should be, and then you felt them in the wash. And then as they're kind of drying, you put it on your foot and then it molds to your foot. And so I started making these. I had a whole situation happen. One of the pairs actually I made. Okay, so let's start. Let's backtrack. This is the first pair. This is the first pair I made. I swear they were the same size at one time. This one somehow must have gotten, the dog must have gotten it and someone threw it into the laundry room because he doesn't really chew up shoes and socks. He just likes to drool and carry them around, thank goodness. But this one I pulled out when I was doing towels and it clearly shrunk because I washed the towels on like sanitary, but I guess I didn't realize it was in there. So now it's shrunk. So I'm hoping I can stretch it out. But this one actually fits my foot, and you can kind of see it's like Birkenstocks, like the traditional ones. where they kind of mold to your foot after a little while. And this is perfectly, like these ones aren't made left or right, but once you put it, you can kind of see how it's kind of going. So this would be for my right foot. So I'm hoping I can save this one because this has been such a journey, you guys. You don't even understand. But anyway, so let me disassemble this one real quick. These ones still aren't perfect because I didn't understand that when I've never really done anything like this. So when you start knitting on this specific pair, I ended up closing it with a Kitchener stitch. So I cast on as many as I needed. And this is a free pattern. It's the Double Slippers by Sandnes, Sandnes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But you start up here in the round and you make it all the way down. You put some stitches. I don't know. Did I put stitches on hold? No, you create a bunch of new stitches when you get to this part and you continue down. Well, then when I went to pick up this side, I did not join. I've never done anything like this with knitting. So I just didn't even think about it. So anyway, I have a hole that I need to fix. But then you go down and you're done. Well, I made another pair. Well, it's the pair that's upstairs. I made another pair, washed them, so because these fit perfectly, and I wanted to make some cute striped ones. So I made another pair, threw them in the wash, washed them the exact same. It was the same brand of yarn. It was the same wash load. It was the same cycle, same temperature, and they felted so badly together that I couldn't turn them into slippers. Because once this is done, and you wash it like this, and then while it's damp, you tuck it inside itself, and then you have your slipper. And then, you put your foot in, you kind of form it. It's kind of weird and creepy when it's damp, but you're supposed to, I don't know if you put a plastic bag over, so you put it on your foot, put a plastic bag over it, and then put a sock on your foot. And so it just kind of forms it to your foot. And I mean, like I said, this one fits perfect. This one shrunk again, so that one should have been washed the next time in cold or hand washed or whatever. But like I said, I didn't even catch that it was in the laundry, so it must have gotten in between towels or whatever. And then this other pair that I made, I was so excited about the stripes. They were so cute. And then like this piece is just so felted to itself, you can't even peel it apart to stuff the one inside the other. So that's part of the journey. So then I went and I bought the pattern. It is the Sailor Slippers that have been all over by Annie. I believe it's by a girl named Annie, but they went viral. I decided I was going to make that version where you make the heel part and then you make the front and then you make the back, and then you kind of seam it all together, and then you put a cute I-cord banding around it, and then you shrink them. Well, I went to the store and I got some Malabrigo worsted weight wool. Well, I didn't read the fine print that it was superwash wool. So I finished them. They're super cute, but my goodness, they won't even fit my husband. These have been washed and they did shrink. Surprisingly, they shrunk a little bit. I washed these as hot as possible on a sanitary cycle, which is like 2 hours. And they're so cute, but they're not shrinking. They are not shrink. So just to show you, like this is this one, and then this is the one that actually fits my foot. So if these were the right weight of yarn, they should have shrunk to fit my feet. Perfect. So then I went and I bought the exact yarn. No, I didn't. I'm lying. I did not. I bought this yarn off, I think it was off Amazon, because I was desperate at this time. I'd been working on slippers for 2 weeks and I had the one pair that turned out, but I was on a mission to make some stripes and with this new pattern. So I bought, it's this Gissimo yarn. There it is. And it's 100% wool. It is not super washed. So I bought it in multiple colors and I made a pair of striped slippers turned out so cute, and gave them to my daughter's friend for her birthday, and they fit her perfectly. They washed well, did great. So then I'm like, done. I'm ready to make myself a pair. I bought enough different colors to make myself like multiple pairs. So I made myself a pair of slippers. So this is the sailor pattern. And so this is what this one is. So you can kind of see, like, they're so cute, but there's a left and a right, which you can also see. These are actually made left and right, but then it's still, the bottom will form to your foot if you put it on wet. Like, how cute are these slippers? So the pattern tells you that you can wash them, or it could take 2 to 3, it could take multiple washes. So I was braced for that, and I washed them once, and they shrunk a little bit, but they were still a little bit big. So I'm like, okay, let's just one more quick. I did a quick load. I only threw like a couple tank tops in there, so it wasn't anything really rough that would, push them around too much. And I washed them on warm, because our water in our house is super hot. We have not turned the dial down. It gets like scalding hot. So I made sure to just do them on warm. And I was hoping they would shrink just one size. Nope. These are like maybe toddler size. Like, this is what my other one went to. I need to know someone that wears this size, because I'm ending up with a lot. But just to show for reference, like, this is what I wanted it to shrink to, like this length. And it's about 1.5 inches. I mean, I can almost get my foot into it. I tried everything. I soaked them in cold water. I put my foot in. But my cousin's daughter actually just turned 4 today. And I'm hoping her foot is either this size or maybe a little smaller, that she can grow into them by winter. But, excuse me, I'm going to be seeing her soon. So I hope they fit. I hope someone can get some use out of these slippers, because that was my life for a couple weeks there, and it was driving me crazy. Okay, so moving on to another finished object, the Be Thankful cardigan. And I started this for my daughter. I ended up making one and gave it to my oldest daughter. And then I made a second one for my daughter, Jordan, my middle daughter. And I will show a picture of her wearing it. I caught a quick picture of her last week right outside of church. I was like, before you run off, I need a quick picture of you in your sweater. And so she's being silly in it. But this is the finished sweater. I have not blocked it. I've never blocked anything other than socks, and I didn't really block them. Trying to show this good in the light, but this is Malabrigo, and it's their DK weight. I can't get over how amazing this cardigan feels. I could make 50 more of these. In fact, I think I'm going to make myself one, because it's just the softest thing. I did not block it because I was literally sewing in my ends, and she's like, can I wear this to church tomorrow? And I said, why, yes, you can. And so I didn't block it, and she absolutely loves it. So she's my really picky kid. She's got sensitive skin, and she's always been very particular about what she wears. And she's never really cared for other stuff that I've made. Like when I was sewing clothes and things like that, she never really wanted anything that I made. She would wear cute tops if I made all 3 girls matching stuff, but it was like, wear it, take a picture, take it off. So with knitting, I'm like, this takes way too long. I can't be making stuff if you really don't care. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. If you don't want it, just be honest. Don't do it and then stuff it in your closet. But when she saw the other sweater I was making, and then it didn't fit her, and it was kind of itchy, and she was begging me, I actually took her to the yarn shop, and she picked this yarn out, and I can't get over it. I love how it turned out, so I'm super excited. But I need a break. I needed to make something else. So I have 50 other projects that I am trying to give my attention to. And we'll get to those. My final finished project is the squishiest hat I have ever felt. And if you follow me on Instagram, I showed this on Instagram the other day as soon as I finished it. And sorry about that, my sock blockers. This is just, I can't get over it. So this is made with fingering weight yarn. Down here it's held double for the brim. And then up here I held it single with mohair. And it is, I made the adult large, and I probably could have gone down a size, but this, like, look at this. Like, come on. Like, yeah, it's gonna fall down my head for now, but it is just so soft and squishy. I'm so proud of this hat. And the way it was turning out, like, I normally don't like ribbing, and look at how much ribbing is on here. 6 inches. I might have gone further than that. I mean, it's longer than my hand. That's a lot of ribbing for me. And this flew off my needles. I finished it in 2 evenings. And those are 2 pretty dedicated evenings. My daughter was sick this week, a couple days, so she didn't have soccer practice after school or games because she was home. So I wasn't running to pick her up or drop her off anywhere. So, I mean, after dinner, I just went to work on this. But it's a pattern by Pearl Soho, and I will put the name of the hat in the description below. I completely forgot, and I'm using my phone to record, so I can't look up the pattern, but it's by Pearl Soho, so I will share it below. The yarn I'm using is by the Purling Squirrel, and I got this from my local yarn shop. She was having a trunk show, and I had never heard of her, but I absolutely loved this yarn. It's a 90% merino and 10% recycled nylon and fingering weight. The colorway is Pussycat, and then again, it's the Purling Squirrel. So, I mean, come on. These colors are absolutely gorgeous. So now I am so excited. I have so much fingering weight yarn. I was in D-stash groups, and I was just buying. Like, I'm addicted to color. Like, if it's pretty, and I don't have any projects in mind. So I have all these single skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I can only make so many socks. And I understand that I can only make so many hats. I don't even really wear them all that much, but I'm going to be making some more of these. And if you know me, you're probably going to end up with one of these for Christmas, whether you like it or not. Just pretend you love it, because I had fun making it. So anyway, that is my final knitting finished project. Now, yesterday I did not get any video. I should have shown video, shared video. My best friend came over yesterday, and first we went to the yarn show, which I will talk about. I have a whole haul of stuff from the Midwest Fiber Fest. I'm so excited to show that to you guys. I'll show that under what I've gotten since we last talked. And we went to the show. Afterwards, we came home. We had to make some t-shirts, some sublimation t-shirts for a volleyball tournament she's in. And then we're going to we always go to the lake a couple times a year. She's got a house down there. And so we like to make t-shirts, or we always have special cups. Her mom is there. I mean, it's her mom's place. And then my husband goes, and our other friend from high school that we hang out, our trio friend, she's gonna come finally. And I think my daughter and her friend we're gonna have a whole crew there, and we are so excited. So we were at the shop buying the sublimation prints because my printer broke, and I'm not gonna replace it because we're not doing t-shirts anymore. So we were picking up t-shirts, and then we saw these cups. They are like snow globe tumblers, and you put glitter and then the snow globe liquid in them, and they're just gorgeous, and we just had to have them. So I found a design, and it's not vinyl, it's like UV something. And if you make cups, I'm sure, or decals, I'm sure you know what this is. But look at this cup. The cup, it says boat waves, sun rays, and lake days. and then on the back has a sunshine and says Lake Days. So we made one of these for everybody, and like, how cute is that? And we found they had different glitter packs. So a couple of them, like there's 3 different ones that we got. So anyway, these are our cups. So we worked on these yesterday and finished them. So we've got this, and then we bought additional tops because, you know, you need the bling. So then this one, I think we put some blue food coloring in there. I don't know why. I don't remember doing that. This one I made as like a sample weeks ago, and I don't remember, but I don't know why it's so blue, but I love it. So anyway, that one. And then my daughter and her friend, we made them petty and dramatic. This one, we found out yesterday that if you put the glitter in first, it's a lot easier to get the glitter in. I was putting the liquid in first, filling it most of the way, putting the glitter in. That doesn't work. This one we put purple food coloring in though, when I made this one weeks ago too. So that's why that one's a little, but anyway, this one does not have the liquid. We ran out of liquid. So this one so far just has the glitter. And then we made this one. And another one that just doesn't have the stuff in it yet. And another purple. Like, these were so much fun, but my kitchen was completely covered in glitter. It was on our laps. It was on the dog. It was everywhere, all over the floor. So I have a feeling we're going to have some glitter for a while. And then, of course, we made one for Mike because he doesn't want to be left out. He's usually the only guy that ends up going down there. And we made him a cup, but he said no glitter. But I don't know how it happened. Look at so it's clearly in the bag too. And I don't know how it happened, but there's just a couple flakes of glitter inside his cup. So sorry, Mike. You're going to have glitter anyway. He's used to it. He's a girl dad. So anyway, so that is a very exciting finished project. I love anything crafty. By the end, now I'm covered in glitter. By the end, I'm over it. I don't like the mess. I'm done, but I continue to do it. So anyway, okay, that's enough babbling about what I have done. Let's move on to works in progress. Okay, so for my first work in progress, I know on my previous videos I was talking about I'm doing a sock set of the month from Stitchin' with Yarn, and she's doing a Charlie Brown theme. And with that, each month she has yarns that show or represent a character. So for January, it was Snoopy and Woodstock. So the colors were white and black were the main color, and then red and yellow. So those ones, I made a pair of socks, and I will show a picture of them. I already gave them to my daughter. I was gonna hold on to all of them until Christmas, but I can't do that. I should have been honest with myself. I can't do that. So I gave them to her right away, and I think they're in the laundry. If they happen to fly in at my face during the video, she got them out of the laundry, and so I can put them on my sock blockers and show you. If not, I'll have them ready I'm hoping to do episodes regularly again, and I will show you them next time. But this month, the colors were representing Sally, and I started the sock. Okay, let me show you. So these are Stitchin' with Yarn. So this is the main color. Well, the main colors. So this is the main skein. And then this was, it's like yellow. The lighting, again, is horrible down here right now. I'm working on it. Being in a basement. I've got 2 tiny little windows up there, but this is the side of our house behind me. And so there's another house behind us or to the side of us. And so I don't really get good lighting down here. There's no sunlight or anything. And yeah, so it is what it is. But anyway, so this is the other color. Maybe over here. And then I also purchased a burgundy because I didn't know how they would look next to each other, both being so variegated. So I got a burgundy to break it up. But here's the sock so far. The other ones I made, I usually make her ankle socks, but she wanted some taller ones. So look at how this yarn is working up. I absolutely love that. Usually, since I do make shorties, it would normally only be like this much before I start the heel and toe. So now I'm excited that I get to see more of it. But there's the main one, and then the burgundy that I got. And I'm using the vanilla sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. Except for the heel, I do the short row heel. And I love that. I have it memorized. And then I think, so I'm doing 32 stitches. So I do 12. If you do a short row heel, you'd understand. But you break it up into thirds, basically. So I have 10 on a side, 10 on a side, and then 12 in the middle. And that fits her, it fits me. We're pretty comparable. Her feet are actually a little bit bigger than mine now, but that fits well. But anyway, and then I'm doing them on a US size 0. And also, this is very exciting. I normally do magic loop, and my mom swears, I lost a stitch. My mom swears by 9-inch because, you're not fiddling with the extra length of cord. You're not constantly pulling needles around. You start going. So I was working on a pair of socks. Well, I was working on her Snoopy socks, actually, and I was doing them 2 at a time on magic loop, and it felt like an eternity. And no matter how much I told myself that, yes, it feels like an eternity now, but when I have both pairs done at the same time and I don't, there's no risk of the second sock syndrome, which I clearly have because I think I have 5 singletons just hanging out around here. But I've decided I just can't get over it mentally. So I pulled them off. I'm like, I'm going to force myself to learn 9-inch needles. And I didn't have 9s in the size I needed. So then I was watching a video, and maybe just how to use 9-inch or just to get some tips and tricks because I just can't get comfortable with them. Anyway, this lady was showing these Addy rockets. And let me show you these. These are 10-inch needles. But the working one, like I'm right-handed, so this is my working needle, and it's almost an inch, well, it is an inch longer than the other one. So these are 10-inch, oh my gosh, it keeps looking up. These are 10-inch circulars. And because this one is longer, I can hold the whole needle in my hand. Whereas with normal 9-inch, you can get a couple fingers in there or maybe 2, which is fine for my left hand. Like it's not an issue with my left hand, but with my right hand, I just could not get comfortable. And I was watching my mom, she was in town also for the yarn festival. And I was watching her knit on some socks, or she was showing me on these, I don't know. But she holds it with her first 2 fingers, but then she just holds on to the sock over here with her other fingers. And that just didn't make sense to me because I was just trying to cram my fingers and then they were cramping and it was just awkward and weird. And so I might pull out my regular 9-inch. I have some 9-inch for DK weight, I believe. So I might try those and just see, just because I'm curious, but I absolutely love these Addy rockets. So the working needle is a little pointier than the other one, okay. I can't even tell in the video. This one here is the working needle. So this is the longer one, and it's not quite as dull as this one. So I don't know. I was able to I finished the Snoopy sock. I finished one of them within an evening because I had already had the cuff and I had started on both heels. And then I finished the second one the next day. Like I flew through these. I'm just baffled at how fast I am. So anyway, I'm pushing these needles to anyone that'll listen. So I'll link them below. I got them on Amazon. I'll link them below so you can check those out if you haven't heard of them. If you like to do 9-inch circulars, The only thing is with them being 10 inches, I don't know if it was me, but I've never started a sock on 9-inch, so I don't know. But I had to start my sock on, you could use double pointed. I despise double pointed needles. So I started them on Magic Loop, got through quite a bit of the cuff. I think I did 16 rows of the top color, and then I did 5 of the burgundy. I got about 6 rows into the top color, and I took them off of the Magic Loop, and then I was able to put them on here. When I just cast on 64 onto the 10-inch circulars, my stitches wouldn't stretch enough to make it in the round. They were just uncomfortably tight, and I didn't like that. So that is the only downfall to them. I think if I was doing DK weight, maybe I could, but it's really no big deal. I'm used to the Magic Loop, so it didn't take long. It was just making sure I had another set of needles at that time would be the only issue. I can't just travel with these, then I would need the other ones to get going, but that's fine. Like I said, it's really not a big deal. But anyway, I love how these are turning out. So that is super fun. And I also have March and April's yarn that came in the mail that I will show you when we get to acquisitions. I have one more work in progress, and this one I am so proud of. I also probably showed you all the yarn for this project because I kept telling myself I wasn't going to work on it until I finished blah, 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 blah. And I finally finished the sweater for Jordan, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going for it. I just laid her sweater on these glitter cups, so that's going to be fun explaining that. I just took the sweater out of her room. She's not home. And yeah, that's going to be awesome. Anyway, I decided I'm going to start this pattern. The pattern was the Kathleen that I got from Expression Fiber Arts. That's where I got all this yarn from. And it's the blanket pattern was named Kathleen after the character in You've Got Mail. So not only did I wait for myself to finish Jordan's sweater so I could cast this on as a reward, my phone ran out of storage, which that's new. So hopefully I'll pick this up where I left off and it'll make sense. But anyway, I was waiting for time to watch the You've Got Mail movie where I could cast on this blanket. I thought it would be so awesome. So I cast it on. And I'm using this buttery yarn from Expression Fiber Arts. And it's in multiple colors. This is the golden yellow, and then the pink and purple, and then there's white with the pink and purple and the blues, and then the blue. So anyway, the pattern was made for these yarns, and I was really excited, and it has like this herringbone look, and I started it, and then I couldn't get gauge, which is a typical problem with me, even with switching needle sizes and things like that. I couldn't get gauge. And then the fear is that once I get so far, this pattern is made for this yarn and the amount that I purchased. So if I run out, that's really going to stink, and it's going to be a lot of work. And that just kept bothering me. And the way you do this is you do all of the one color. So there's 4 balls of each color is what I purchased. I just wound them, like each one of these cakes is 2 balls. So you do all of the yellow, then all of the white, then all of the pink, then all of the blue. And I was like, what if my gauge is off? Or what if the blanket doesn't make the right size, or it's awkward? I couldn't get over that. I really don't like that kind of pressure. This is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. So I tore it out. I restarted it, tore it out, restarted it. And finally, after like the 3rd time of restarting it, I said, you know what? I am over this. I'm over it. I am going to make my own pattern, and I'm going to make sure that my pattern allows for my gauge, and it allows for the amount of yarn that I have, and makes me happy when I do it. And so I'm so proud of myself. I'm almost halfway through the 2nd color, so I'm a little over a quarter of the way done. And I am so proud of this pattern. I am so excited, and I've never written a pattern before. So that's gonna be interesting because I would like to release it because this pattern is just, the way it's turning out is gorgeous. So this is where I'm at. And so I'm fading the yellow into the white. So I'm almost done with the white. And this is going to be a decent size blanket for the family room or whatever. This yarn lives up to its name of buttery yarn. So I'll list the colors down below. Again, these were from Expression Fiber Arts. I ordered the 4 colors. It wasn't a specific kit. They just suggested what colors they used in their pattern. And then I thought maybe I had their pattern in my little thing that I've got my blanket in. Nope, I do not. Anyway, I ordered what they said in the pattern, and yeah, I'm using US. I have my contacts in, which surprisingly doesn't help me read needles. It's on these Chow Goose. I believe they're size 6mm needles. They're pretty big. Again, the lighting is not helping us anywhere. But anyway, so this is my pride and joy right now. I have been really focused on that. And then finally one day I was like, okay, I need to finish something. I need a project I can actually complete. And that's when I made that hat that I made. But now this afternoon, I'm probably going to sit down and finish the white. It takes me about 5 minutes per row and a little over an hour, maybe to an hour for each little section. And there's like 6 sections of each color. So, I mean, I've got quite a bit of time left on working on that, but it's okay. I'm loving every minute because the pride that I'm feeling, it's kind of exciting. So the next thing I had started, and I am working on the Traveler hoodie, and I have it in this cute binder I set up. I'm doing the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry, and I am doing the size 4, I believe. Yep, size 4. I don't think it's made to be pretty cropped. Oh my gosh. But I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'm a mom who's had 3 babies. So I'm going to lengthen that. But I am making it out of Malabrigo. I believe the name is Gris, Gris. Again, I will put all the details of everything that I use in the comments below. But this is how far I am. It's a bottom-up construction, which I've made 1 sweater and then the 2 cardigans, and they've all been top-down raglans. So this will be a little different, but I'm really excited. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm only a couple rows in, and I mean, they're pretty small needles for the ribbing, I believe. Let's see, what's the ribbing? Yeah, no, that's the main fabric. 3.25. So yeah, pretty small needles, but I'm really excited. Nitty Natty, I watch her vlog, podcast, whatever, and she wears hers quite a bit and it looks so cute and cozy. She has, I believe it's a pink, and now she's making another one out of yarn that she spun herself. And so that's really exciting. So I decided I needed a lightweight, something like today that I can throw on. Today I just stole my husband's hoodie because I just needed something oversized that I could throw over my shirt and be comfy. And I mean, that's fine, but I mean, who doesn't want another hoodie? So I haven't honestly decided if I am going to make the hood. She has a crew neck version and the hooded version. So I bought 5 skeins of the yarn because I was going to do another pattern with it and I decided against it. So I bought 5 skeins of it, and then I have 3 on order because she only had 5 in shop. And it's a marled yarn, not marled, but it's really variegated greens and teals and grays and stuff. And so I'm not overly worried about dye lots. I know I should be. I really know I should be. I've been told a million times. But I'm not. And the Malabrigo yarn is fairly affordable, and I have a feeling this won't be my first and last of this sweater. Once I find one, I want to make at least 2. So that's where we're at with that. So that's my final work in progress. But now it's time for acquisitions, and I've gotten 2 things in the mail, and they were my Stitch In With Yarn March and April that go along with my Charlie Brown theme. So I did, the first month was Snoopy and Woodstock, and then February was Sally. March was Peppermint Patty. So she has some fun and cute greens. So that is super exciting. Okay, so this one I got her sock fingering weight, which is 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, 437 yards to 100 grams. And then the little mini. So yeah, that one, and she's on Etsy. I order her through Etsy. And then April was Linus, which Kinsley is super excited for. She is 14 going on 15, and from birth she had this elephant blanket called Bubs, and the whole family, the other 4 of us, our older 2 daughters, my husband and I, if it was bedtime, nap time, and Kinsley didn't know where Bubs was, it was a full family search until Bubs was found. So Bubs has been like a living member of this family. Basically, he's no longer pink. You cannot really tell that they were originally elephants on them, but Bubs is still a loving part of this family, and she doesn't actively need him. I don't know necessarily. Like I said, she's almost 15, but today when I was in her room, he is still on her bed. I have heard that she and her older sister hopefully their friends aren't watching and get embarrassed, but they do make an appearance on vacations. Because as little kids, they talked about their blankets getting left behind during a house fire, or what if someone robbed the house and stole Bubs. And Jordan's, her blanket's name is Fuzzy, and it's white with little giraffes on it. But they're just little baby blankets. Anyway, so she and I are both very excited for April. Kinsley, oh my gosh, Kinsley and I, because is Linus, and Linus is the character that has his own little blanket. So this set, I actually ended up getting the DK sock set for whatever reason on accident, and when I first got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I got the other ones in fingering. My plan was to make like a scrappy blanket at the end of the year of all of the yarns, but again, I don't know how much I'm gonna have since I'm making different sizes of each sock. So am I really gonna have enough yarn at the end? Not different sizes in length, but you know, the first pair was a shorty sock, so I have a lot of that yarn left over. And then this next one I made kind of a mid-calf, so there's gonna be less of that one. And now that I have the DK weight, I don't know what project. I could always just, if I'm gonna intermingle DK weight socks throughout the year, I could just make a double strand the fingering weight ones to balance it out, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I could make her a scarf, or I don't want to make her a hat because that's I guess I could make her a scrappy hat, would be cute, but then when she wears the socks, they would match. You know, she could pull out that pair out of the hat, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But anyway, I'm so babbly today. I've had such a good weekend, and I'm in, minus my traumatic morning, I'm in a really good mood today, so I get really super chatty, and sorry about that. Anyway, this is Linus. It's the sock set, and it's reds and blues, and I mean, it reminds me of 4th of July, which is one of my favorite holidays. I absolutely love fireworks, and because color, I love color, and these just I really want to put these on the needles next. But I have to do March first. And I'm excited for March too. I love the greens. But I'm really excited for the DK weight. And I think we'll wait and see what May's color is. My gosh. We're going to do May's color. And she releases usually around the first. I think it's the 1st of the month. I think she's been pretty spot on with it being the 1st of the month. And so I order on that day, and I usually get it mid-month to the end of the month. So we'll see on the 1st what colors they are and see if we want to do another DK set, because those are super fast. So that'll be fun. Anyway, these are my 2 acquisitions as far as mail goes. Now, the part we've all been waiting for is my haul from the Midwest Yarn Festival. So the Midwest Yarn Festival, it's been put on for the last couple of years at St. Louis Community College by, I believe, Heather from YarnCom put it on. She did a phenomenal job, and this year was so much fun. I actually signed up to be a volunteer Friday night. My mom came down. She lives about 2 hours north of me. She drove down to be a volunteer as well, because I went last year and the year before to the Yarn Festival. So this is now my 3rd year going, and it was just great this year. And I've been telling my mom about it, and she's a knitter, crocheter, all of the above. It's where I get every ounce of my craftiness from. And I convinced her to come down. Anyway, so we volunteered. So by volunteering, we got to come back. This was the first year they charged, but we got a free t-shirt, which, again, why did I not take pictures of us in our shirts? I just don't, I have to get better about that. But we were so cute. We got t-shirts for helping, and then we got to come the rest of the weekend. And I went yesterday again, but Friday night we went zooming through during our shift. We worked 4 hours, and during our shift they let us do a preview night on Friday, which it wasn't really open to the public yet unless you bought a membership, and which was quite a bit more than just door entrance, but it came with other perks and benefits. Anyway, but there weren't a ton of people there, but all the vendors were set up. So we zoomed through. Of course, I purchased quite a few things, and then I didn't have enough. My mom went home yesterday, and Jordan, my middle daughter, had given me a coupon for my birthday, one of my birthday presents. We went out for sushi. That was part of my birthday present. And then one of her other coupons was to take me to the yarn festival or go with me and buy me a skein of yarn. And then a third coupon was to buy a skein of yarn from my local yarn shop. And so anyway, she's been looking forward to meeting me there, or going. She was with her boyfriend Saturday. They were out. He's looking at houses to rehab and things, like he wants to purchase a house to rehab. So they were meeting with realtors, and between meetings, she and her boyfriend met me at the show. And then my best friend drove over, and she doesn't live far from me. Before we did all our crafty days stuff yesterday, she met me there, and we wandered. So we wandered with Jordan and her boyfriend. Jordan got something for me, and then they left. And then Jen and I walked around. I had an absolute blast. My yarn haul and all of my goodies haul from the Midwest Fiber Festival. So where to even begin? Let's see. So Friday night was when I was with my mom, and we went to BAH Yarns brand. Oh, I have my contacts in, I'm telling you, and it's really not helping. Brenda and Heather Yarns. So BAH Yarns. Look at that. This logo is so cute. This yarn is called Laser Tag, and it's self-striping. It's gonna work up like this. And what I absolutely loved about their booth was they had samples already knit up of the yarn, and I spotted this one from across the way. I was like, oh my gosh, have to have that one. I need some tall stripy socks. I'm so excited. I have not worked with self-striping yarn yet. I have seen it. I have some upstairs. I have not tried it. I am so excited for these socks. And she said they're blacklight reactive. So I might have to get me a blacklight, because there was a whole nother booth that all of her yarns, I believe, were blacklight reactive, and pull me out because I'm obsessed. It was so much fun. So anyway, I'm excited to put these on the needles, like I don't have any others to do. So these are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards per 100 grams, and 4-ply fingering weight, color laser tag by BAH Yarns. So I bought this Friday night. And then we went over to Daisy Bags, who my mom was super excited for because she'd been to a quilt show, and Daisy Bags was at the quilt show, and she was so excited to show me them. So I got this one, and it's little cats eating sushi. Oh my gosh. I just saw that there were cats on them, and it's pink and the heart. I think of my mom every time I see hearts, because when she would make us quilts, she would, like, I have one that the label on the back is a heart. And when she would spell my name, like in birthday cards, my name is Mandi, and she would put a heart above the I. So, and she made a blanket or a quilt. Oh my gosh. She made a quilt for my oldest daughter when we moved to Colorado. I only had her at the time. And when we moved, and she had hearts on it, and the blanket, I'm going to stop calling it a blanket because it's not. The quilt, it was hand pieced, and at the bottom it said, P.S. I love you, and it had hearts sprinkled down. And my daughter was between the ages of 3 and 4 at this time, and my mom had her help sprinkle the hearts around this blank quilt. Oh my goodness. She had her sprinkle these around the quilt, and I don't know, there's always been hearts. If there's hearts around, like, I have a bracelet that I got either when I was with my mom or she bought it for me, but it's a bunch of hearts linked together. I think of my mom every time with hearts. So this was perfect. We found this, and the coolest thing about it, if you can hear it, it snaps. The snaps are all inside the fabric. And then this is the coolest thing. See these two things up here? Okay, there's a hook on this one, and then a loop, metal loop over here. And if you put the loop inside of the hook, the bag stays open while it's sitting. So while you're knitting, you put it on the table, put it on the floor, put it on next to you, throw your yarn in there, and your bag stays open. And the girl at the booth had pointed out, even with it, if it's not latched, like, the yarn flows perfectly. But I love that you can see inside of it. It's nice and wide and open, and the fabrics are just adorable. And then this nice big long loop. Some of the loops, even when I was making bags for myself, I did not make my loop long enough. I made it more like a vanity thing instead of my arm. So when I'm carrying stuff in to places, which I don't travel lightly, I got my purse, I got my water, I got my soda, I got whatever nonsense that I'm carrying, and then my project bag, and I'm usually like sticking it on a finger. Well, this loop is nice and big, so my hand goes right through it. Anyway, love it. I love this bag. So I'm excited. I'm going to put my socks that I'm working on in it. I was leaving it empty until I showed it. So this is from Daisy Bags. So cute. They have so many fun patterns, and they're online, so I will link them below as well. I'll put a link in the description below. Then we went to Cara Michelle. Let me make sure. Yeah, Cara Michelle. And because I spotted this bag, Lilo and Stitch. Oh my gosh, this fabric is absolutely amazing. And I was talking to the girl, and I said, I have to have this bag. But I was looking at, I really wanted a tote style that had arms, handles, like handles big enough for my arms. And I wanted it open, I wanted pockets, I wanted all these things, but she didn't have that in this fabric. And I've never seen this fabric. It was so cute. But I left it and I walked away. But as I was looking at it before I left, I was like, I love Lilo and Stitch, because my oldest daughter, I said, it makes me think of her all the time. And she said, oh, that's so sweet. What would she use the bag for, or something like that? And I was like, oh, no. The bag's for me. Bag's for me. I just think of her when I see it. Kind of like the one with the heart on it. I think of my mom with that one. I think of Kaylin, my oldest, because she loved, still to this day. If we're bored, we're hanging out, we don't really want to watch TV, but you need some noise on, turn on some Lilo and Stitch. And every time I see anything Stitch, I text her, I send it to her, I buy it for her. We love Lilo and Stitch. But not only that, the rainbow zipper up top. Like, how cool is that? And then the zipper pull is Stitch holding his ukulele. And of course, I FaceTimed Kaylin to show her what I got from the festival. And she goes, oh, thank you. I'll be taking that next time I'm over. And I said, so now I'm going to have to check your pockets, your bags, under your sweatshirts, everything. Inside is some cute little freckled, it looks like little fireworks in there, but it's all the same colors. I mean, I just love this bag. Anyway, so cute. But I left it. I walked away and I was like, you know what? We've been gone. We should probably get back. I mean, they weren't busy. I don't think anyone even came in while we were shopping, but I wanted to make sure and get back to my table. I was working registration. My mom was working the doors, like counting as people came in and greeting. And anyway, I left it and the shopping stopped at 8 o'clock. And it's about 7:57. And the coordinator, Heather, grabbed her microphone to let everyone know, hey, start heading out. Shopping is over for the evening. Come back tomorrow. We'll see you. Well, I didn't know when I was going to come back on Saturday. And I was like, she only had one bag, only one thing in this pattern. What if I go back and it's gone? I'm going to be so sad. So I booked it to their booth, grabbed it, checked out. I was out within 30 seconds. I was like, I have to have this bag. So I'm really excited. My Lilo and Stitch bag, it's big enough to hold multiple balls of yarn, not big enough for a blanket. Maybe my sweater right now because it's kind of tiny, but I don't know. It's a good size. I love it. So check her out as well. She has a website, Cara Michelle, and I will post her link below as well. So cute. So cute. Then Friday night, again, my mom and I are walking through a booth and she has, I'm going to have to look on my phone to see who she was because she had some cute shawls hanging and yarn and her booth was amazing because I'm really I haven't made a shawl. I don't know when I would wear one because I wear hoodies and t-shirts all the time, but I'm obsessed with shawl patterns right now. So I feel like that is going to be in my future and I can't help it. I'm going to have to make a shawl. And anyway, so I'm looking at those and we're just kind of gawking at all the yarn, of course, and all its gorgeousness. And here comes a spinny thing. And I noticed a pattern that I have had saved in my Pinterest board with my older daughter of these little knit amigurumi stuffed toys. I have never knit one. I've made hundreds. Like you can see my turtle here. I made him and I have another turtle up over there. It's a strawberry turtle. I've made all kinds of guys and I made the flower behind me, the sunflower. And anyway, I haven't knit any yet. So that will be a new adventure. But anyway, they have these cute little kits and you can't buy the pattern online. I believe I searched everywhere for the pattern and you could only buy the kits and I couldn't decide. And anyway, I wanted to see him in person, whatever, found it. She had him spinning around. So let me put my turtle, we're gonna put him over there for now. I found it. So I already pulled it off, but I found the lamb. Oh my goodness. This is the cutest. These are just the sweetest guys. So my daughter, when she ends up she got married a couple of years, like almost 2 years ago now. And when they start having children, they want the nursery to be a barnyard theme. And they love Highland cows. They don't have any, but love Highland cows. So I have all these patterns and I believe I showed them in my first video, all the projects she has enlisted me to make for her. But this pattern designer has a Highland cow and he is who is saved on my Pinterest, but I have also saved the lamb, the donkey. There are so many animals. Well, she had them all spinning. But the only one that went with the barnyard theme that I was going for was the lamb. So I was like, okay, I'm getting the lamb and I'll find the Highland cow later. So bought the lamb. Anyway, it comes in the cute little kit and it has all the yarn and the pattern. And I think I'm actually going to do a review and like a little knit along. That might be this week's project. It says it's a complete knitting kit. It's in multiple languages. It's by Marije Boone, I think. It's like light writing on dark, so it's hard to read, but by Hardycraft. So these are the instructions in, like I said, in all kinds of languages. And oh, you can scan me or go to instructions Hardycraft, not handicraft, hardycraft.com. So anyway, I think I'm going to do a little knit along where I'll check in each day. I'll do a little review of the kit because it comes with, like, here's the stuffing for it and the cutest little balls of yarn. Those, so there's 4 of those, and then the safety eyes are in there as well. So I like that. I don't need them to waste their time adding needles or anything in there because any kits that I bought with crochet hooks, you know, once you're crocheting a lot and you have, it's great for a beginner, but I mean, I don't need the wasted supplies because I probably wouldn't use theirs anyway. Anyway, so I got the lamb, and when I went back yesterday, I was showing my daughter Jordan the booth, and we're walking through it and spinning it around, and I was telling her about the donkey, and lo and behold, there's the donkey. He was hanging there yesterday. Wasn't there Friday night. If he was behind some of his other friends, because I almost bought the monkey. Is so cute with his striped little legs, and the cat, she had the cat made again, but I'm going with the barnyard theme at this time. And how can you say no to this donkey? Oh my gosh. So I got the donkey, and we're standing there, and the woman next to me was like, or the woman working the booth was like, who are you looking for again? Because I was telling Jordan how I was sad, but I'm going to have to go order the Highland cow. I'm going to have to find him somewhere just so I have him, so I can do him as well. Well, the woman says, who are you looking for? And I said, the Highland cow, he's my number 1, but these other guys are, you know, top tier. And she goes, oh, let me see. I saw him this morning. And we had the Highland cow. So now I have the cow, the donkey, and the little lamb. I just grabbed his little sheet. So I'm going to start with the lamb. And I think like I said, I'm going to do a little knit along. So I'll check in every day, and maybe next week my video will be kind of a compilation of me completing him. And that'll be a fun follow along for you guys, because I have never knit an amigurumi, and I'm thinking the tiny little circles, we're gonna have to do some magic loop, because I don't use double points, and I haven't read through the instructions yet, so that'll be fun. That'll be something to look forward to, so join me for that video. And then the last thing that I got, I went into the show thinking I wanted to get yarn to make the zipper light pullover, which again, Renee from Table 10 made one, and I'm obsessed with hers. She did a navy blue. I wear black leggings most days of my life. I have them on now. And so I didn't think navy blue would be my color go-to. So I was kind of looking for some grays. I thought a gray marled. I found a Malabrigo yarn that I liked. That's what I went in with my mind to look for. That was going to be my huge wait for the show. You're going to get this special yarn there for this special, because it's going to cost quite a bit. And the pattern's by Petite Knit, so it was a little on the higher end cost for the pattern as well, that I want to make sure and put quality yarns into it. So I was on a mission to find it. Well, once I actually read through the pattern with I found a yarn dyer, and I liked her colors of gray. She had a sweater done, but then when we were looking at it, it wasn't 800 yards of fingering weight yarn I needed. It was 800 grams. So that's 8 skeins of yarn. And she didn't have 8 of the gray to begin with, so I'm going to have to order it if I decide to go with that. But my fear with this is that I want to make sure it's the right size. I've measured myself, but again, my gauges are always off. I can never hit the right gauge with the right needles. So I lucked out with Jordan's cardigan, but it was made to be oversized. This sweatshirt is also made to be oversized, but I don't know. I just, spending that amount of money for the experience that I'm at right now with making clothes, since I haven't made a lot, I'm just not ready to invest that right now. So I decided overnight, as I thought about it Friday into Saturday, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna get a DK or fingering weight, whatever. No, you can do fingering weight with fingering weight held double with a lace, or you can do DK weight. That's what it was. It was 800 yards of DK weight. Anyway, that I would need for my size. But I think I'm going to get a DK weight from Michael's, something more affordable, maybe something I can get on sale, to make the sweater. And first of all, see if I even like the pattern, if I'm going to complete it. And then if I do really love it, I'm going to want to make another one anyway. So then I can go ahead and invest the money knowing that I'm making the right size. And so this is basically going to be like a test knit for me. So then I don't end up with 8 skeins of this gray marled yarn and make 8 pairs of socks and hat sets for everybody I know. That would be really expensive. So from Friday night into Saturday, I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to make a t-shirt or a tank top, something that I can wear throughout the summer, because I'm so heavily focused on sweatshirts and sweaters and cardigans. But I mean, it's April, end of April in, I don't know, April 26th, I believe I said was today's date. So, and we're in the Midwest. So, I mean, it does go from 50s at night to, like today, it's 80 degrees outside and sunny and warm and amazing. But I think it's time for me to let's try a t-shirt. So I found a t-shirt on Ravelry. It had great reviews and it is just so cute. I'm gonna have to layer it, I think, with a tank top, because I'm not gonna go see through here. But it is the Rocket Tee, and it's made with fingering weight yarn and then mohair. So where it looks lighter, that's the mohair. I thought it was held together until I got there and I was picking out yarn at the show, and I realized, oh, you can see through that. So that's where I thought it was held with it. It is not. But this is by Tannis Fiber Arts, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna make a t-shirt. So we're shopping around. Jen and my daughter Jordan, her boyfriend was with us, but he was looking at trucks and houses and stuff on his Facebook while he wandered through with us. But man, he was a champ while we squished yarn and gawked and pretended like we were asking his opinion, because I really don't think he cared one way or another. But anyway, we looked at grays, we looked at pinks, we looked at purples, we looked at blues, we looked at fades, we looked at all kinds of things. And then we ended up in, we ended up in the Leading Men Fiber Arts, who are from Clinton, Illinois. My mom has actually visited their studio and gone in person to their shop. I have not. I live south of St. Louis, and I think Clinton, Illinois is kind of in the middle, but off to the side for both of us. I'd have to look. It would be like an hour or so for me to go to, but I follow them. I buy their yarn from my local yarn shops, and I've used their yarn quite a bit. Actually, the hat that I made, the mohair that I held with the fingering weight yarn for that hat, was from Leading Men Fiber Arts. So I am very familiar with their dye like colors, and I mean, they're awesome. I love their work. Anyway, ended up in their booth. And now I know, after reading the pattern and studying it, I need 1 skein of fingering weight yarn and 1 skein of mohair based on the size that I need to make. And so this is perfect. So I start, and they have a whole section ordered by Rainbow. So I'm like, okay, I can find the yarn that I love, and then let's go pick out a mohair. Look at this. This is what I found. Blue has been my favorite color my entire life. I'm kind of leaning more towards tealishes. I mean, I love all the colors, but blues, I have blue eyes, and I've been told that lighter blue, not these electric blue colors, are my colors, but you know, it's all right. I love them all. Anyway, this is called, it's their Showstopper, which is their fingering weight. Colorway, Mama, I'm Coming Home. This light that I have off to the side is kind of glaring. But otherwise I look dark and I'm hiding in a basement. So anyway, this is Mama, I'm Coming Home. And then the mohair. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I am so excited for this. So this mohair color is called Imperial, which is funny. Imperial is the city north of us, not far. Anyway, lace weight, 459 yards. Kid. Contacts really aren't helping me. My right one is completely blurry, which is, if I have been blinking or rubbing it a lot, I don't know why. It's almost contact change day, which is just as exciting as clean sheets day. If you know, you know. Anyway, Leading Men Fiber Arts. They have a website as well. Oh my gosh, this light. I'm gonna have to figure this out. leadingmenfiberarts.com. And yeah, so I really want to start on this t-shirt, but I have a blanket to finish, I have socks to finish, I have socks to start, I have all the things. So that's my acquisitions. The Rocket Tee, we're gonna make that, and I believe I'm gonna make a size 5. I think I decided on size 5. And yeah, that's gonna be super exciting. I'm really ready to do that. So let's go through my show notes. I think I hit everything. So, because I am pretty scatterbrained when I get excited, like I said. So the thing we did right towards the end, I was looking for a lotion bar. If you know of a good place that I can get a lotion bar, I've bought them from yarn shops before, but they come in the tin. I like the ones in the little tin. They're like this big, maybe like 2.5 inches. Anyway, I'm on a mission to find one. Enzo, my dog, ate mine. He did not swallow it, but he chewed the tin enough that I cannot open it, and my lotion bar is stuck inside. And I love it for when I'm knitting, because they're not really greasy, and I loved the smell. It was a citrusy smell. I wish I should have saved the tin so I could, he probably chewed the sticker when he ate it. Anyway, we were on a mission to find one. No one had them. I know I can get them on Etsy, but I'm looking for the tins, and I like to smell them in person first, but okay, anyway, we were on a mission. Well, we walked up to this one booth that had these soap bars, and she was explaining to us that they are felted soap. This one I got is frankincense myrrh, and they're from Bonnie, Illinois, the Bernard family farm. But anyway, so this is a bar of soap inside of alpaca fur, and or felted, whatever. And once the soap depletes itself, you're just left with this pile of alpaca. But it's like, it's a soap in its own little carrier. So I'm super excited to try this out. How cute is it? And it smells so good. I love frankincense oils. They smell, I was cleaning with them for a while. I was diffusing them for a while. They just smell so good. So I'm really excited. It's handcrafted with olive oil and goat's milk, then delicately felted with luxurious alpaca fiber. Use as is, fiber will felt and shrink with use, behaves as a natural loofah or self-cleaning washcloth. So there you go. So I'm excited to try that. And my yarn smells really good now. But it's the Bernard Family Farm. The girl was super sweet. And then she explained to me that they are having an open house May 2nd and 3rd from 10 to 4 with alpacas, sheep, yak, and more. Free to attend, $1 feed cups, and there's a farm store. I think she said it's like an hour from me. But you know what? I mean, I might do a lot to go see an alpaca. So I might go there. May 2nd and 3rd. On Sunday, you might not see me. I might be, unless you go to Bonnie, Illinois, I might be in Bonnie, Illinois, petting some alpacas. So anyway, I think that's all for today. I mean, that was quite a bit. So if you hung in there, kudos to you. And I'm excited to get working on all of the projects that I have. I just wanted to make sure. And look at this bag I made. Oh my gosh. It's me, and Levi is always in my arms or my lap when I'm knitting. And then our other cat, Sammy, and then Enzo. It's really hard. But this is the tote bag that I took with me to the yarn festival. And then on the back, it says, powered by yarn and questionable decisions. If you would like a bag like this, maybe you don't want me on it, but if you'd like one that states your love and how you're powered by yarn and questionable decisions, let me know in the comments below. I will gladly make more. It's so cute. If you want me on the front, I'll put myself on the front too, but you know, that's up to you. So anyway, join me next week. Like I said, I'm hoping that the video comes together nicely as a follow along with me as I knit and critique this pattern. And again, I'm a pretty loose knitter as far as instructions go. I follow the instructions, but I don't really have a lot of critiques at this point because everybody in the knitting world, I just assume they're a lot smarter than me because I'm just such a beginner still. So I may not have maybe that'll be it. I'll be like, hey, you've never made one of these before and look how easy and awesome it was. Or, hey, you're not ready for this. And we have 3 of them and we need to find an experienced knitter to make us the donkey, the lamb, and the Highland cow. So follow along and we'll do this together. So I hope you have a wonderful week and check back in. I'm hoping Monday, it'll be May 4th, maybe, will be my next video. But hey, if I'm in an alpaca farm on the 3rd, I may not get my video made. So anyway, have a great week. I hope you comment below, subscribe, like, so you get to see more videos with me because I'm having a blast. And knowing that I get to show you guys these projects when they're done, give me the motivation that I need to keep going and actually finish these things, because what you haven't seen is the 1,000 projects that are started in this footrest that I'm leaning on. It's full of projects just waiting. So knowing there's someone on the other side waiting is really motivating for me. So have a great week and talk to you soon. Bye.